Solicitor, you ready to go?
Turn off my phone.
We're so loud today, Councilman, with the gavel. Too many people last time.
Yeah.
Good afternoon and welcome to the City of Chester Deliberative Meeting for Monday, July 8th, 2024. We have all council members present, and Councilman Davis is present by phone. Say hello, say hello, Councilman.
Good afternoon, everyone.
See, I told you. Mr. Solicitor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, members of council, and members of the public. Welcome to the Monday, July 8th, 2024 deliberative meeting for the City of Chester. The following ordinances are to be voted on. Bill number 3, repealing various articles of Part 15 entitled Fire Prevention Code as follows. Article 1505, Life Safety Code adopted. Article 1511, permit fees. Article 1525, open burning. Article 1531, explosives and fireworks. Article 1535, gas stations. Article 1541, building fire protection systems. Article 1555, smoke detection system installation. Bill number 4, 2024 budget amendment. There are no contract approvals. The following resolutions will be before council for final passage. Resolution 69, authorization to change the authorized signers for the city's TD bank accounts to Richard Troutman, Chief Financial Officer, Joy Taylor, City Controller, and Eleonora F. Golson, City Treasurer. Resolution 70, to authorize the award of contracts for the facade 3D rendering design blends facade architecture to Think Architecture and facade improvement project to Hardeman Construction. Resolution 71, that it does hereby grant permission and authorize the issuance of a road opening permit to PICO for the installation of a new natural gas services with the line extending 750 feet in the city of Chester at Walnut Street between East 15th Street and East 18th Street and East 17th Street between Walnut Street and Chestnut Street. Resolution 72, to authorize the appointment of Sharette Golson as a member of the Chester Parking Authority Board to fill the expired term of Marnie Hudson to expire December 31st, 2025. Resolution 73, to authorize the appointment of Shanika Slow as member of the Chester Parking Authority Board to fill the expired term of Pamela Hudson, term to expire December 31st, 2026. Resolution 74, to authorize the appointment of Eric Lewis III as a member of the Chester Parking Authority Board to fill the expired term of Elise Elam, term to expire December 31st, 2027. Resolution 75, to authorize the appointment of Dakeem Williams as a member of the Chester Parking Authority Board to fill the expired term of Dwayne Lee, term to expire December 31st, 2028. Resolution 76, to authorize the appointment of Alethea Davis Moses as a member of the Chester Housing Authority Board to fill the expired term of Susie Kirkland, term to expire December 31st, 2026. In addition, the following ordinance will be introduced. Bill number 2, Ethics Code, to establish ethical standards of conduct for all such officials and employees of the city, its agencies and authorities, whether elected or appointed, by setting forth those acts or actions which are incompatible with the best interests of the city, by directing disclosure by city officials and employees of private, financial, and other interests in matters affecting the city. That would conclude today's list.
Thank you. Council, any questions, comments?
I just have the R70. I think we're giving that to 3 different contractors. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And do we have a timeline on when that will be completed? Or,
We have, as far as completed, we don't. We are slotted to try to do 40 facades for the downtown or over town. Depends on how fast they get in.
is there that many businesses downtown?
Well, even if the business isn't there, we're trying to impact as many properties as we can.
Okay.
So if the property owner's there, they're responding, and they have an intent to try to put a tenant there, we want to try to support that facade program.
Okay. I just drove downtown, and I see someone that's putting up, I mean, it looks their own facade, out there. So I wasn't sure if they knew about it. Is that new?
Yes, the one right there on 9th
No, Seventh,
Seventh.
on Seventh and Avenue of the
Avenue
States.
State, the black one.
The black one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, they're putting that like literally right now as we speak. So I wasn't sure if we had reached out to them and let them know that.
We have not done the outreach yet. We just
Okay.
finished the video. I don't know if you guys seen the video yet. Actually, Councilman Davis is the star guest appearance voice on it.
Oh no, I didn't see that video.
So we just finished that last week. So they're going to start. We wanted to get this contract approved, and then they're working on the marketing right now, and they're going to start reaching out to the business owners.
Okay.
Hopefully this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far are we going up?
All the way up to 9th.
All the way up to Ninth? Okay.
So from here, from 4th to 9th.
Thank you.
A comment on R72 for the appointment of Sherette Golson. She sent me a message and she said that she's no longer interested in being on, what was it, the Parking Authority Board. So we can strike her name, or how does that get removed?
I guess we just pull it from the agenda, Solicitor?
Pull it from the agenda, but since the subject matter was on the agenda within 24 hours in advance of the meeting, you can substitute it with another name if you have a name.
Okay.
I have a piggyback comment off of R70, going off of Councilman Green. Do we have a visual as a whole of what that plan's going to look like as far as the facade program? Like, do we know what it's going to look like in the timeline that, I guess you just said you don't have it finalized as far as the timeline, but do we know what it's going to look like slowly but surely? Like, do we have any idea of that?
Sure, I can. I'll address all of that. One is, again, we have till the end of 2026 to spend all the money. The intent is to do 40 facades. That's what when you break down the money, it puts down about 30 to 40,000 per facade. So if we can do 40 of them, that's a big impact. From what it looks like, that's why you have the 3 different contracts. We have one contract that does the actual construction work. That's Hardman. Then you have the 3D blends. What they're going to do is a 3D rendering, so people will actually see. Once they decide what they're going to select, they'll get to see what that looks like. And then you have the other contract in there, which is the architect. And they're going to design that work. And then with 3D, what they're also going to do is we have before pictures, after pictures. We're going to put a collage together. There's going to be a set web page for that. So it's going to be more about promoting what it looks like. Once it's done, the before and after pictures, but it'll also give people an idea. If they select this color, select this particular brick, they'll get to see what that looks like. That's what that other contract 3D blends is doing. So right now we don't have anything because each facade is going to be different, but they do have to stay within our color palette, our design guidelines, which is according to the zoning and according to our design guidelines. So you can't pick wild colors. They have to fit within the actual parameters of our guidelines.
Where can we see the video?
Is it on the website yet? It's on the website?
Yes, chestercity.com/facade.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And while we're just talking about improvements, I believe it was either last year or the year before, it was approved for houses to get, I think it's like a $10,000 grant or something like that to fix up homeowners in the city of Chester. Do we have an update on where we are with that, or?
Yes, we do. Amanda, come on up. Yeah, number we've done so far and where we're at.
So it is going to come out to about 77 homeowners getting assistance. We have already reached out to more than half of them. So if anyone has said they have not heard anything at all, please have them reach out to me directly.
Okay.
But we have already established the income calculation. What that is, that's like the borderline. After your application comes in, then you get over to CCIP and they confirm your income, make sure that you're making the right amount for the program. And then at that point, that's when the contractors come in, inspectors come in, you can actually start to work. So again, more than half of the people that are on the list have already completed that income process. But if anybody has had any questions about where they are on the list, hey, because a lot of people, so I just want to confirm this. We did have to send out a lot of letters stating that they did not make the cut, that the process was closed, funding had been used. And a lot of people were fearful that, oh, somebody got this letter, oh, is it still happening? So I do get those calls, so again, have them call me because some people are afraid that maybe they didn't get a letter and they did, but everybody that sent me some application received a letter.
Okay.
So if they have not, please have them call me and I can kind of let them know where they are on the list. I do have a spreadsheet showing who was accepted, who's on the waiting list, and we only have about 10 people on the waiting list, and the waiting list consists of people who can potentially move up if someone does not meet the income requirements. And then we have the closed list.
What number should they call you on?
610-447-7793. If you've submitted an application, please call me and I can let you know what your status is.
7793?
779.
How many have we completed so far?
I believe, well,
That actually the facade or the improvements have been done.
we're actually still working with contractors. So only like 3 people are at the point where they are ready to say, yes, this is done, this is good. So we actually haven't had any signed contracts because we was making sure we had the right clean language correct. But as of right now, we have about 3 or 4 people ready to sign that final, hey, this has been done and we're ready.
Will there be any additional funding coming
I
from?
hope so.
I would tell you that I have Asia looking constantly for grants for this type of work. But that's another conversation that I think we probably should have at council, where we look at budget. And you might want to think about setting some money aside in the budget, whether it's the CDBG dollars, for this type of program. But that's a conversation. It may not be a lot, but at least if you start with a little bit of money to help build the pool, it's something that could be done. But I think that's something you really should think about during budget season, to look at that budget to decide if you want to put some more money towards that type of program.
We did have a lot of applications that people did not, so.
Yeah, someone just stopped me in the parking lot as I was walking in, asking about it, and so that's why I'm inquiring about it now so that I can get the information back to her.
Call me, and I have been, we were supposed to shred everybody's information for contact purposes, so I sent the letter out to the people that were on the closing list because the funding had been used or is being used. And I told them that I would keep the top copy of their application with their name and contact information just in case something else does come up, just so that they put in a lot of work to put in these applications.
Yeah.
So that the time wasn't in vain. So I am keeping the top copy of that application in case something else comes out, we can at least have some type of starting point. Because if we don't have a lot of funding, then at least we have a pool to go to for the people who have already shown interest.
Was it also some funding from the county, or did the county put any funds in this? Or
This was not
they had
from
a,
the
did they
county.
have a
They
program
had
or
their
something
own-
like?
they
Okay,
had their own program, and they actually had a lottery. So once you submitted your application online, to then decide accepted, and then you were put into a lottery. So that's kind of how they did theirs.
Thank you.
Mr. Solicitor, Bill number 3, the ordinances that are being repealed, are they being replaced?
They're being repealed, they should be repealed, and we are replacing them at this point with these particular sections.
Okay, you're replacing them with the sections listed.
We're repealing those sections that pertain to these subject matters and replacing them with these subject matters.
They are being, correct, but they're replaced with the new fire code,
Okay.
which you've adopted. You've adopted the new fire
Which has
code.
been in effect.
It's been in effect,
Just a point of clarification.
yeah.
So what's the enforcement piece for this? I mean.
The fire code, your fire code.
Okay.
When you adopted the fire code,
So if someone is in violation, they had a good time over my way 4th of July, setting off fireworks in the street. So, what do you do? Call 911 or, how do you handle that?
you still call 911. Here, go ahead.
Yes, I would call 911, and a police officer would more likely respond, and they would take the information, and they would make the proper notifications.
If the police officer ever makes it.
If,
John.
yeah,
Right, but what you see there, that fireworks explosive, that's not about setting off the fireworks, that's about making the fireworks. So that's what so fire is only, like what you're appealing or repealing here are the actual fire ordinances. So this one, explosive and fireworks, that's more so about making them, in a building, in a location. So that's what that 1531 is.
Or
So
noise ordinances.
the noise ordinance,
Another
that's
ordinance.
under
so
police.
the noise ordinance would handle the
Yes.
fireworks and
Yes.
explosives.
Yeah. But this one is about making them, producing them. Yeah,
There's too many places where you can buy them now, so.
that's
people
another,
aren't really
that's another
making
one,
them.
yeah.
So just to clarify a little bit regarding your question, these articles that you see here are not going to be replaced with other articles. What it's saying is that is that International Fire Code?
Yes.
That we've adopted covers all that.
Right.
So in order to avoid confusion, more so in the case of if we went to court, we take these things out and we use the fire code because it covers each and every one of these. So the ordinance book will be a little shorter.
And just make one correction, bill number 4, we need to remove that. We're going to move that till probably the next council meeting. I forgot to let Janelle know, sorry.
The budget amendment,
Yeah. Yeah, the budget amendment, the receiver needs to look at it from the finance standpoint a little bit more before we bring this before you all.
And then will someone sit down with us and go over it with us?
Yes.
Before you bring it to us for a vote?
Yes. I had a whole salary ordinance and memo prepared to present to you all. But right now, we have to look at the finances a little bit more before
are
we
we trying
present
to
that.
increase or decrease?
Not trying to do anything with the budget, more so just adjust positions, titles. Really, that's really it. But it's not increasing because we've had some vacant positions. We also had, with the ARPA budget, you remember, I don't know if you remember the return to work. We had return to work money in there in the ARPA budget that we probably should take advantage of to bring some people back to work under that budget. So that's what I was looking to try to do. But like I said, once I submitted it in to the receiver, they wanted to look at the finances a little bit more. Also, Rich and I need to get together, the CFO, to look at that with them as well, just to make sure we're all in line. Then once we do that, we'll present that to you so you can see it.
and I'm not sure if you can answer, it's not maybe the receiver, but I know months ago, he talked about the number and it would, the plan of adjustment, and it would be June. We're in July now. I don't know if he presented that to the governor's office yet or the state. Do we know where we are in that process?
I don't.
Okay.
We meet Wednesday, this Wednesday coming up. We'll be meeting CFO and I and the receiver. We'll be meeting this Wednesday to discuss that and also discuss this. Hopefully we can get an answer on that, what that number is. I don't know the number. I know the CFO doesn't know the number. Whether it was presented to the state yet or not, I don't think it has. I don't know, but we'll find that out and better be able to answer that on Wednesday.
Okay.
Could you explain the return to work money? Is that for previous employees? Are you talking about bringing them back, or like explain that?
So what happened during COVID, when everyone was let go during COVID, with the ARPA money, there was money put inside the ARPA budget for what they call return to work. So we had some employees that were brought back under those funds. Since then, a few have retired, and we just haven't replaced them. Or they've moved on to do something different. So that's what we're looking at, is looking at that.
But there's still money left?
There's still money left. So that's what I want to do, is look at that money that's left, and if there's an opportunity to bring some people back to get support staff, then we should do that if that money's there. So that's what I was looking to do. But that's, again, we have to relook at the numbers to make sure we have the right salaries in place. The other thing, the receivers, we will bring those people back, but that money's only good till 2026. So we really want to rethink that. Do you want to bring somebody back only till 2026, and then there's no money there, and then you have to let them go again? Or do we look at really tightening the budget and making some of these positions permanent? That way it's really in the budget. So when 2026 ends, that you still have a solid workforce here. You don't have to worry about letting people go. So that's
But if we
kind of what we're
don't
looking
use
at.
it, we lose it.
Correct.
So why not just bring them back until 2026, or bring them back with the understanding that, hey, this money is going to run out in 2026. So after that, we can't promise you a job, but for this time period, can we, instead of losing the money completely, and if we need help and we need support here, we can bring them back for a short period of time to maybe support these ongoing efforts in City Hall, and then.
Well, that's,
I'm not sure if
that's my
that
thought.
can work, but.
That's my thought process, but like I said, we want to explore both options, and if there's something, like from the receiver standpoint and the CFO standpoint, if there's something we can make it permanent, then let's do that. But we're definitely not gonna lose the money, so we wanna look at both options.
And is the option available, is the money just specific to bringing the people back to work? So you can't use that money to hire new individuals, can you?
Well, that would be part of, like, that's hiring, but it's like a temporary hire. You're hiring them to bring them back to work. But again, the money's only good till 2026.
No, I get that part. I'm saying if it was to be, like, we need support staff, you said, right? Can that money be used if someone comes in and says, hey, I need a job? I'm just using it as an example. Can we hire someone temporarily?
Well, so we have two things happening right now. One, we already have a contract with Career USA. You guys proved that few council meetings back. And that's what that program is doing, is bringing people in that want to work, like temporary work. With the return to work money with ARPA, it's more about being a part of our budget process and being a part of the budget to have staff, permanent staff, not temporary staff. But if someone's looking for something, like, we can connect them with Careers USA, who's our contract temporary employment firm. We can help them with that. But like I said, that's my short thought process on it. But like I said, when talking with the receiver, the CFO, we really want to look at the ARPA money a little bit deeper and see how we can, we're definitely not going to lose the money, but how do we make it more permanent for the employees? But we'll have an answer for you Wednesday.
I like to look at persons that you've hired not too long ago. And I like to look at the before and after salary for those individuals, what you were paying before for a specific position, and then what you're paying now. Because
Okay.
I know there's been some changes.
Mhm.
And an explanation as to why.
Okay. I'll give you a short explanation why now. Some of them is we're trying to bring all the employees here up to the market salary. I've talked to, I think, what this night, the previous council and several times before that, and I've even been on the receivers, conversation with him about a market salary analysis. We know that here in Chester, the city employees many are paid below what we should be paying them, based on the market. We do want to do a market analysis to see where we should bring them up, and what we've been doing is when we do a new job, we look at the job description, we modernize or update the job description, and then we look at the current salary market out there and bring it up to not the highest, but we try to bring it up to the midway point of the median salary. And to me, it makes sense to do that as we start bringing people in. It doesn't make sense to bring people in at the below rate, because even then when we do that, we've lost people that we brought in and they've only been here 2 weeks and they left. So we're trying to bring them in, and as we do the budget
Overworked and
amendment.
underpaid.
But we're trying to fix that, right? But we got to start somewhere, and the best way to start is as we bring people in, we're trying to bring them in at that market rate. And then as the budget gets prepared, those that are not there, we're going to see, you'll hopefully see that in your budget coming up, that we're going to try to bring all those people up to the same market rate. But we got to start somewhere. So the best place to start is as we bring people in, because
As you bring new people
as you
in.
bring new people in.
Give them the market rate.
Yes, and I know it doesn't sound fair.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't, but you got to think about, we're bringing one here, one there, one there. If we try to do it for every employee that's here already, we don't have the budget to do it right now. Because if I have one clerk in one department making X, Y, then again, that's a union, that's labor, right? So that has to be negotiated with the labor union. So I can't just bring whatever clerk that's there making that amount. I have to go through the whole labor negotiations to go through the whole contract negotiation to bring those salaries up. So we have to do it where it's a non-bargaining position, right? Because you've got to bargain that. And you're doing it on a case-by-case basis on one individuals that are coming in. So that's the best way to do it. As we go through negotiations, which you guys know we're going through labor negotiations now with all three unions, that's how we do it at that point.
I understand that, but I'm talking about non-union people.
Yep. I got you. We can discuss those, each individual one if you want.
Okay.
Okay.
Floor is open. Comments, questions, council?
All good.
Excellent. How about our directors out there? Any questions, comments from the gallery?
You got someone new here?
Yes, I'm about to introduce him. Paul, can you come up?
Oh, I was going to do that.
Oh, okay.
But that's
Mayor,
okay.
go ahead.
We have Paul Fritz, the new Director of Planning and Zoning. He started on July 2nd. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It is my 4th day here, so it's a pleasure to see all of you, and I thank you for the opportunity. Again, my name is Paul Fritz. My background is in landscape architecture and community planning, certified planner and licensed landscape architect. I have over 15 years of private consultant experience with a multidisciplinary firm in Syracuse, New York, where I grew up. In 2010, I moved down here because my wife is from the Nether Providence Township, a neighbor. And for the past 7 years, I've been working for Chester County as their technical director, essentially, and I oversaw 10 people in that department, including the 247 review planners, which are the planners that review plans that come through a municipality to the county to review. And I have some experience with the city of Chester as a project consultant, working with Bill Payne, Latifa, and others over 7 years ago. But I'm super excited to be here. I look forward to the opportunity. I know there'll be challenges, but I look forward to those, and I'm here for you as a resource. Be happy to take any questions.
I want to say that this morning, Mr. Fritz was thrown from the frying pan to the fireplace in a zoning meeting, and I think we're in good hands.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I'm already in good hands with Kim helping me, so I really appreciate it.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
In your short time here, and I guess through the interview process and deciding to come here, what do you consider the biggest needs of the planning zoning department that will get us up to standard here? And how are you going to get us there?
Well, I think initially it's consistency, and having the image of consistency and adhering to what's in the zoning ordinance. The zoning ordinance is pretty good, but it's not perfect, so it'll need some improvements. All zoning ordinances always need massaging down the line. So I think working on that, listening to others, trying to understand what the biggest issue is probably going to be my first task. In reality, I need to understand what the hot topic is and how to address that. But in the end, my guidance is the comprehensive plan and other planning documents on there, and I look forward to implementing that plan. So I don't have a good answer for you today in like the number one, but to me it's adhering to the zoning ordinance, bringing consistency, and improving the image of the city and overcoming some challenges. So.
I anticipate we're going to be looking at the zoning ordinances pretty closely, and I don't know how often they've been changed or when they were last changed or whether they even fit the vision for what we have in the city. But we do see examples throughout the city where there are some, commercial stuff, maybe even industrial stuff up against residential, and, those are some of the things that I'm sure you're going to be addressing, and
Yeah.
we need you to help us, who ultimately has to push this stuff through. What are the factors, whether it's just bad layout of zoning, old layouts, and we, as a council, mayor and council, have to let the zoning department, and especially the director here, know what our vision is for how we'd like to see the city laid out. So where we want to see the city laid out, squared up against what's on the books as far as zoning, that's really our mission here, and that's how I expect that we'll be working together.
Yeah, no, I look forward to it. You're right, making sure the zoning is adhering to the vision. That's exactly what it is.
Great, well, welcome.
Welcome aboard.
Go
Welcome.
ahead.
I look forward to meeting you in person.
All right, same here, thank you.
I'm glad you mentioned the ordinances, because that's, Mayor and Council, we're committed to updating all of our city ordinances. So I'm sure you'll have your hands tied in working with the rest of your department to bring to us a lot of the ordinances that need to be repealed, need to be replaced, need to be updated. And so that'll be one of the main factors, as far as dealing with council, that we're trying to improve the city by updating all our ordinances. So you'll have your hands cut out with that. As you can see on the agenda today, we're repealing ordinances.
Exactly.
So we're trying to go through every department. And I'm not sure if we have we don't have a committee, a zoning committee?
It's under CED. It's under community economic.
Community, do we? Oh, okay.
It's under.
Yes,
Oh, okay. So you'll be working with Councilwoman Gibson.
yes.
I look forward to it.
Yeah,
And I look forward to working with the planning commission too, because I also have to work with them.
awesome.
Well, welcome.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So can you tell me, how does zoning, planning, zoning and L&I work together, and at what point do they work together?
Well, I'm going to use a reference that Kim uses. Planning essentially and zoning is the first base. Everything has to go through, whether it's a use, a change, a building, has to go through zoning. We are the ones that first review a proposal in development. And we look to see if it adheres to our zoning code. I also have to look at the SALDO, which is subdivision regulations. And once everything has been approved by the planning commission, the county, then it's ready for construction and it's ready to be looked at by inspectors. In the end, we should be talking to each other continually, so they know what we're looking at, and we also want to make sure that they're looking at something that we've already looked at. That's critical. So, in the end, we're the first person that developers or applicants should look into. I don't know if that answers your question, or you want to
And,
go into
and,
deeper.
and if there's an issue, like maybe you've given a developer, you know, what they need to get started on their project, and they know what they have to do in order to be in compliance with zoning, okay? But if there is a non-compliance issue, then where does it go?
Well, there's some overlap there. If there's a zoning-related issue, that would be under our purview as zoning enforcement, and there's ways to handle that. But if it's more in the realm of the inspectors, they need to be dealing with that. So we're strictly zoning. It's, you know, the use, it's fences that are too high, et cetera. So there is some after-the-fact enforcement that we have to do.
So those types of things, like the fences too high and all like that, would that go over to L&I for enforcement?
There would
or-
be some communication, but for enforcement, it would be coming back to the zoning enforcement. But there's definitely communication going on. and who's
Because
doing what.
I'm asking, because I've been, like, in the past, going back and forth, back and forth. I just need some clarity.
Well,
as
to be honest
how
with you,
it's supposed
I
to
think
work.
that's one of the biggest things we're going to have to look at going forward is the communication and how that is all coordinated.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think it's crystal clear just from what I've been, for the 4 days I've been here. So I have to work on that to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah, because you have people being told one thing over here and then another thing over here, and there's a lot of frustration in between
And that goes back
for
to-
our constituents
Yeah.
and for us.
Yep, and that goes back to my comment about just being consistent with
Mm-hmm.
what we're seeing from the cities. Yeah. I hope I answered your question.
Okay? We'll see as we move
Okay.
forward. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Pretty silent out here. I think it's time to hit the gavel. All right, meeting adjourned.
Have a good one, everyone.
Thanks for
Have a
joining.
good one. Thank you.